Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to look back at some photos I've taken during the first dance at weddings. I'll also let you know how I have mainly been photographing them in recent years. I've tried a few ways before and I now feel pretty happy with how I do it. However, any suggestions to improve are always very welcome. So, the first dance can be one of a few things. It can be an elaborate choreographed routine that has been practiced for hours. It can be an awkward but kind of sweet non-dance, holding on to each other and swaying a bit, which is possibly easier to photograph. Or it can be somewhere in between. But I have no advice about dancing to give anyone in the world. Anyway, firstly, one decision to make as the photographer is whether you want the DJ or band to be in the background of your shot, or the couple's onlooking friends and family. Personally, I think that's an easy decision. You'll see in these pictures that I prefer to show the guests in the frame. Another decision to make is the choice of lens. Most of these pictures were taken with my 35mm f1.4 lens. Several were with a 50mm and just a couple with 85. With the 35 I have to be fairly close to the couple, but I'm not right up in their faces as they do often want a slightly wider view. If you do get a bit closer, it pushes the background more out of focus, and sometimes you can get lucky with some nice lights in the background. Over the years I have tried different lighting setups, including using remotely fired flashes. Quite quickly all of this felt way too much of a big setup for me. I've never enjoyed bringing soft boxes and light stands to weddings. I've not enjoyed carrying them, and I've not enjoyed using them. So currently I just use a very small handheld softbox attached to my camera with a short TTL lead. I hold the camera in my right hand and the softbox in my left. As they dance, I simply try to catch their faces with the light. That said, I'm sure once or twice I've just kept the softbox on the camera, and that can look fine too. Perhaps the first thing to consider is the exposure. There's no magic formula here. I take a moment before they come to the dance floor and get the ambient exposure. I just take a few photos without the flash until I'm happy with the exposure of the background. As a rule of thumb, I want it dark, but not pitch black. I can always bring up the brightness of the crowd in Lightroom. So with the background exposure sorted, I just add flash. Sometimes I use TTL, and sometimes I use manual flash power. Manual gives the most consistent results if you stay a constant distance from the couple. It doesn't have to be an exact science. So long as they are lit up, you can adjust the feel of it all later. I seem to have worked backwards with this, so I will continue now with the first thing that I do, and that is have a quick chat with the DJ. I ask them to show me what the lighting will look like for the first dance. You want him or her to avoid using horrible laser lights at all cost. Generally, I just ask for the first dance to be as simple as possible in terms of lighting. Also, it's a good idea if asking him or her to turn off the lights isn't the first thing you say to them all day. So I make a point of saying hi if I see them setting up. It's just polite and friendly anyway, and it also means when you ask something of them later, you're not a complete stranger. And that, in kind of reverse order, are some notes for photographing the first dance. That's how I do it at the moment, at least. Reviewing them has been a good exercise for me. I think I need to be careful with the shallow depth of field. I miss focus more than I'd like, and I do think I might use a 50mm lens more in the future. We'll see. Thanks everyone for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can help enormously by subscribing. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.